Okay, what we did today here is I put some radios I have on the tone generator. I started applying tones gradually, not a full sweep because, well, I just wanted to go little by little up. Here's what I found. My Kenwood is cutting off at 27, Bearcat 2053, 2510, 2640, 66, 66, 2200. Interesting note on the Bearcat, when you get around that frequency over here, 2053, the input is also shorted. So we have a tone coming in through here, and when the tone gets so high, there's no modulation even on the radio. 2053 is not hard to hit with your voice. So it's filtering off your input audio, all right, and the output around that same frequency. Kenwood's doing the best. Well, it's an HF rig. They're supposed to have better TX audio frequency out in the output. So what I basically did is we put power into the radios and we put audio into the radios. And we kept cranking up the frequency high and low until the radio got max power. And then as we went a little higher, the radio power level went down. Still putting up power, but the power down. So at that point, you're breaking your transmit frequency. So I found a website here, and as I'm talking, you can see these numbers moving here, and you can see what the human voice is actually doing, or actually what your voice is doing. You can see these numbers here, the hertz. They're pretty neat, you know, all the lows, mids, and highs. Now, of course, the human voice can go as low as 50 all the way up to 8K, and there are some fancy phone systems and digital systems out there that'll do those responses, but ham/CB radio, we got to cut off at 5K because of a simple fact of bleeding into the next channel. So I guess something like this here, this website, was a nice thing to test your normal audio, your normal voice, and then you could actually match a radio to your voice and see where, you know, what you need. If you have a very bassy voice and you're not going that high, you really don't need to be playing with all this hi-fi crap and all these compressors and equalizers and stuff like that because it's doing nothing for you. You also have to know the shortcomings of your radio. So if you go back to here and you will take the Bearcat as an example, and you want to go ahead and try to get the Bearcat stretched out to 3K, and your voice can do 3K, well, the Bearcat's not going to do it. Neither is the Kenwood. You know, none of them are pretty much going to go that high. Your sideband tone, that 1K, 1.2K, 2K, that's a good arena to have so the sideband audio can cut through the crap. All these radios will do that. So all these radios will still be nice for you on sideband. Okay, so you're going to have to mix your response rate to your microphone, the radio, and the output. Also, you have to know, you know, what your voice is. So just going and getting yourself something that's going to have a real wide voice range as far as radio, and you have a low voice here or a real high voice, you know, this kind of gives you an idea what and what not might fit you. Also gives you an idea, like I said, these guys going out buying these mixing boards and these fancy microphones on eBay, and these compressors and all this stuff, and they come home and they're putting it into a junk radio that can't handle it. All you've done is wasted your cash. Also, we have a local guy who has a very bassy voice. Almost nothing he tries is working. Well, did he ever sweep the radio? Of course not. You know, so your radio, this is a database anybody could build over time. Buy yourself a $100 tone generator and a watt meter, which most people already have. Start injecting the tones into the microphone port of the radio and watching the output. And you'll be able to see what the output is and kind of tailor your audio, I guess, in a sense, to the output. Now, the other side of the coin, which we're not even touching right now, is what can the radio actually hear? Sure. You see guys do these radio tunes so they get the radios 120, 130 dB down, but what tone are they hearing? Can it hear a 3200K tone that far down? Can it hear a 3200K tone at all? So audio is a big difference, big factor out there for these guys, for most people with radios that are into it a little bit. But are they wasting their time, or are they not wasting their time? You know, all these guys are going direct and jack, 8-channel, 16-channel mixing boards, 2,000-watt linear amplifier, the bass filters on the radio, the whole 9 yards, dumping this into a Cobra 2000. Well, what is the 2000 actually falling off at? Just because they hear it through their headphones and through their speakers, what is the radio actually falling off at when you do a sweep? Okay? When you put these different tones into the radio with the tone generator, where is the radio actually breaking? I guess that would be, you know, what we're coming full circle. So I guess in reality, back to basics, is the closer you can get to 36, 3800, I wouldn't really go over 3400. The closer you can get that radio to go in that realm, probably the better you are, if the other people can hear those tones. So right now, if I wanted to sound the best I could on air, I would use my mixing board into my Kenwood, okay? Or I would just use my Static 575 M6 into my Kenwood. Because see, your microphones will have this frequency response rate listed. The manufacturers of the radios don't always want to list the frequency response rate. They really don't, because a lot of them are using garbage, garbage garbage audio chips, real garbage audio chips in most of these radios. So, hope that was helpful to some people out there. What I'm trying to test out here and piss around with, just something to do on the 4th of July since I'm sitting home bored. So. Maybe that makes sense to some of you. Maybe it makes sense to none of you. But audio is definitely a big factor out there in the radio world. And trying to get the best audio without wasting money is a big help. So if we had like a database of all the radios out there and what they break at, you would know basically what to buy if you're looking for audio. And you would also know what not to buy and waste your money. Like, I wouldn't waste my money running a mixing board into a Bearcat. I wouldn't do it. I would get a good microphone for it, sure, but I wouldn't waste money trying to get a 3 or 6 or 8-channel mixing board into this Bearcat and try to sound good on air. It's just not going to happen. When you're getting cut off at 2053, and you can see our voice here, some of the tones I'm speaking right here are over that. So that means half my voice I'm talking into the Bearcat is not even making it into the radio to maybe be able to go out the other side of the radio, out the antenna. So, all right, guys, hope that was helpful. I'm done rambling.